Yo, what's going on guys? My name is Jack and welcome back to a brand new video. Last week in the last video we checked out the brand new Omega X-ALPS 3 and what a wing. We had my first flight on it, but this week we are going to try out the SIV characteristics and put it through its paces so you guys can see exactly how it handles and how it recovers from all these kind of maneuvers. Catch me in the air. Saying hi to the cameraman. Hello. Salut Mael. Salut Luke. So as we fly out now and get nice and high over the mountain, we're going to try some SIV maneuvers, things like stall, collapse, and various other things that you want to test when you get your glider to see if you're comfortable with the glider, to get used to how it feels. So when you go and fly cross country, when you go and fly normally around your local site, you feel comfortably and you know what to expect. So now I'm going to do a full stall. Nice and easy. So it drops back nicely. You find the tail slide position really easily. And what you have to be careful of with two liners is that they bend quite a lot because they are high aspect ratio. So when you enter the tail slide, you want to go back a little bit slower and you don't want the two wingtips to touch. If you go back really fast, then the wingtips might touch, you might get a cravat and get yourself into a little bit of a sticky situation. So go down, find the back fly position. We're going to hold a little bit of a longer back fly this time if my hands can take it without any gloves. Out. Nice. So now we're going to go for the spin. The spin is a really important maneuver whenever you're thermaling or you're going for a landing in a tight spot, or any spot for that matter. You want to be very familiar with where the spin point is and how to spin your glider. This is because it can be really easy to spin your glider sometimes when you're thermaling and when you're landing under a stressful scenario. So you want to know where your spin is so you can avoid that and land safely and thermal safely. So now we go for it. We're going to go trim speed and make the spin. Release and catch the dive. Spin again. Release, catch the dive. Because of the consistent brake pressure with the glider, it builds up nice and gradually as you get nearer and nearer to the spin or stall point. It's very easy to recognize this point and avoid it at all costs. So now we're going to go for the collapse. The collapse is probably one of the first maneuvers that you learn on SIV because you come across them on, I wouldn't say a daily basis, but you come across them fairly regularly when you're flying, especially in cross country and places you're unfamiliar with. So it's always good to pull a collapse and know what you're going to find out, know what you're going to come across. So here we go. Now we're going to go for a collapse to the other side. And now we'll go for the big one, the full frontal. Make sure I'm in position. As expected, the glider recovered super quickly. It's a little bit difficult to induce a collapse on this glider because it has nitinol rods running from the back to the front, so it collapses at a very low angle of attack, and when you're pulling the glider it takes a long time before it collapses, And even though I'm pulling as hard as I can and as fast as I can, it doesn't simulate the cleanest real life collapse as you would expect. When you're in a real life situation, the glider is going to collapse a lot more efficiently, and you can expect it to be a little bit more aggressive. But after seeing the way it reacts, I'm sure that it's going to recover very quickly and get back to stable flight. With all this being said, the Omega X-ALPS 3 is an END. It is certified as an END, which is a high-level paraglider, as we all know. As it is an END, this certification means that the pilot in command needs to get involved to stop the situation from progressing further. So when you take a collapse, if you take a collapse to the right side, you need to lean to the left and brake to the left, and vice versa. You need to apply brake, you need to be a pilot in command to stop the situation from progressing into a more out of control maneuver. So now we're going to try an SIV Classic, the spiral dive. Build up gradually, pull in, pull in, pull in, pull in, pull in. And ease out. Now I don't want to do too many of them because I don't want to stretch the lines on such an ultralight glider. I'm going to go the other way to even it out. Rapid exit and catch the dive. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. Could not expect anything better. Two liners are known for producing really big surges straight out of rapid exits, and you've got to be on your game. You've got to let the glider come back, surge, and then after it's past you, you can start braking and start getting involved with the glider. Braking too soon can involve going into stall and going into parachutal. Despite this glider being made for such a high level competition such as the Red Bull X-ALPS, I feel that this glider is the perfect entry level two liner. It's nice and friendly, it feels familiar just as any other END would, and if you're going to be making the transition from maybe a high ENC or other END 3 liners, then I feel you'd be very comfortable on this glider. It might take some time to get used to flying a different riser setup in the two liner and learning to control on the bees. However, I feel that it's very safe, it's very comfortable and familiar. I find that this glider is the perfect entry level two liner, and people that are looking for their first two liner should look no further other than getting the advanced Omega X-ALPS 3. What a brilliant glider. So I've just finished putting the advanced Omega X-ALPS 3 through its paces, through some SIV maneuvers, and what a safe wing. In the world of ENDs, high-end ENCs and two liners, it feels really safe and it inspires confidence when you fly it. Putting it through some collapses, frontal 50% collapses and spins, you immediately notice that it feels safe for a two liner and for an END. Unfortunately, because of its construction and the way it has Nitinol rods running through the trailing edge to the leading edge, it's a little bit difficult to simulate real life collapses as you may have seen on the video, and I could not perform a full frontal, and the 50% collapses were not the best. However, you definitely can see from the way it handles that it is a safe glider and a safe two liner. So the next step is to take it into the real world and take it on some cross countries, which you'll see in the next coming weeks. If you like the video, please like, subscribe and leave a comment down below, and I'll catch you all next time.